Just yesterday, an announcement that rocked both Wall Street and Silicon Valley, two of the world's leading forces in business and technology, Apple and Samsung decided to join forces. And while most everyone is familiar with this revolutionary development in the technology industry, little is known about the man who was the driving force behind this business and technological combination, a devout family man from Long Island named Jakob Deutsch. Jakob Deutsch was born in New York City. After graduating in 2016 from the Davis Renov-Stoller Yeshiva High School in Woodmere, Long Island, and a period of study abroad in Israel, Jacob enrolled in Yeshiva University's prestigious honors program, where he majored in computer science. Having grown up in the age of Apple's iPhone, iPad, and Mac, as well as the Samsung Galaxy smartphone, Jacob, the son of a longtime corporate attorney at a Wall Street law firm, developed a keen interest in technology and business, as well as the practice of law. After an extremely successful stay at Yeshiva, which Jacob is known to regard as the best years of his life, Jacob attended the Harvard Law School, where he received his J.D. and graduated at the top of his class, prepared to embark on a career where he could get experience in his principal areas of interest, business and technology. Jacob was fortunate to receive job offers from many of New York's top law firms, and ultimately decided to accept the offer from the firm that specialized in representing large technology companies. After moving with his growing family from Boston back to New York, Jacob quickly became known as a rising star in the legal industry by successfully closing some of the most important and complicated deals for his clients, while at the same time maintaining a low-key and understated profile. As a result, CEOs throughout the technology industry actively sought Jacob's advice and counsel, even when they knew their toughest competitors were also his clients. This, in particular, is what has triggered our interest in Jacob's story. As we all know, Apple and Samsung have fiercely competed with each other for well over 30 years. They each also happen to be Jakob Deutsch's clients. And while each of these companies has been responsible for some of the most amazing technological advancements over the last several decades, they have also been focused on competing with one another in destructive ways, including engaging in endless, costly, and time-consuming lawsuits with one another that ultimately their ability to innovate and make additional technological advancements has suffered. In other words, Apple and Samsung were spending so much time fighting with each other, including disputes over potentially revolutionary holographic and virtual reality technologies, that the entire technology industry was suffering. Jacob, whose mother, Tamar, told us he has been fierce, determined, and unrelenting ever since he was a baby, decided he was going to do everything in his power to end this long-lasting feud. Through the sheer force of his determination and his power of persuasion, Jacob mediated a multi-day meeting between the Apple and Samsung CEOs, and we are told refused to let them out of the conference room until they emerged with yesterday's historic agreement. The only break Jacob permitted took place when Jacob left to go spend the Sabbath at home with his family. When asked to comment on Jacob's role in the negotiations, both CEOs told us they were most impressed by Jacob's determination, Talmudic mind, and ability to bring people with competing views together, no doubt the product of his education, upbringing, and some pretty good genes. The CEOs were less impressed with the kosher catering Jacob insisted on ordering in to the conference room as the negotiations dragged on. For his part, Jacob, who true to form declined to interview for this story, spent the night after the announcement with his family and went right back to work looking for the next opportunity to bring companies and people together to try and improve the world. Whether that will be through Jacob's philanthropic activity or in business is not known. But one thing is for sure, because of Jakob Deutsch, the world's technology will never be the same.